Sit, turn, tap, sit. Good boy. Ruff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Well. Look who decides to make his return. Who's been away for so long? Oh, look at me. I drive a train. Blah, 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 blah.
It's been
Look
a
at
minute.
me.
But
I go to every baseball stadium I can. Blah, blah,
Try
blah,
to.
blah.
I tried to.
Shit. If you guys don't
Join
know,
me.
this is a legend in Turnbuckle Tabloid's history. The in the pantheons of when this began and such. And also a good friend of mine who he senses disappear sometimes, but it's okay. Listen, no hurt feelings on this side. I don't sound like a whining woman or whatever. Our boy
Life.
Louis Coyote is in the building, and God,
Man, y'all.
I love that name. It's one of my favorite names of all time.
Super genius. You were the one that gave it to me.
I know, that's why it's freaking amazing.
With all my brilliant decision making.
Exactly. If only people know the fucking backstory. Shit.
Yeah, if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
So I had to do a bonus show for this week's episode because of the fact of what a tremendous outpouring of love the wrestling universe gave to WWE Raw this past week. And Louis had to jump on because it so happened the fucker was there.
I was there.
What drew you to say, let me go to this Raw?
So it was the first Raw after SummerSlam. And I was, looking around, just trying to see what I could do with my Mondays, being that I have Mondays off.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happened that, hey, Raw's in Baltimore. That's a hop, skip, and a jump on the Amtrak. Let's take a trip.
Wow.
I made a couple days of it, and yeah.
I didn't think Amtrak was that such an easy trip to do with like the Baltimore. I mean Amtrak goes wherever the fuck it, but even still, but like you said, only what 2 hours and how long?
About 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes, something like that.
That's not bad though. That's really not bad.
They got a cafe car. You want something to eat? You go there, you get something to eat. They got a little tray in front of you, like the airplane. They treat you good.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's a shit. That's a hop, skip, and a jump. Hell yeah. I want to go catch a. Is that how you want to catch? Is that how you caught the Orioles games when you catching?
No. So this was believe it or not, this was my first actual Amtrak ride.
Oh, okay. I was talking to my boy AJ, brother AJ, and I'm telling him about your baseball collection.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually trying to look for it on the socials, but apparently I don't know where the fuck where you hide it these days. But
I'll send them to you.
So yeah, I wanted to show because he's on the same kick as well. He wants to do the hit every baseball stadium possible, but he doesn't collect balls, unlike you sailor. You no, he likes to get paraphernalia and stuff. So
okay.
So did you believe that like this this Baltimore Raw was gonna have such a energy to it after SummerSlam?
So about a week ago, I was looking at the card and I saw that there were only 2 matches made.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota and Sonya, and forget the other one. But anyway, I'm sorry, White Six and American Made. So I'm saying to myself, okay, it's the first Raw after Mania, and first Raw after SummerSlam, and I had my predictions for what SummerSlam was going to be, and pretty much I was kind of spot on.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to see what the fallout was going to be. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect to see what I saw. But man, I got to tell you, every Raw after a PLE, if it's in your area, it's a must see.
Yeah, because
it's definitely a must see.
You are. But by the way, just a quick backstory for the listeners and the viewers who don't know, you've been a wrestling fan for Jesus since the age of time, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Louis is also one of the guys that you go for historical wrestling content, especially his knowledge, his vast knowledge of Royal Rumbles. He's so ugly with it; it's ridiculous. With that, that is your favorite pay per view, correct?
That is my go-to.
Yes. You still have your anthologies and shit?
I do. I have them in storage because, I mean, when you have
a large Lego collection that you have now these days.
That too. That's been keeping me occupied. But no, when you have Peacock and you have all the other things around you, it makes it a lot easier.
Wait a minute, hold on. That's a diamond cutter pillow you have there?
It was a custom made diamond cutter pillow, yes.
Fuck off. Yeah, this is
I have to make sure I look good for the show.
I have to. I can't say much because I helped design that fucking logo as well. So.
So be proud.
Oh, whatever. The investment is real. The investment is real.
Hi.
Oh, jeez. No, now you're getting a sense of why we call him Louis Coyote Super Genius. Yeah, so,
brightest ideas.
When you get the card unfolding in front of you, you're on your way down. You're looking the socials and you're seeing who's going to be on the card tonight. You get there. Do you feel like a sense of energy? Because I remember when I went to the Raw after Mania, when Dolph cashed in, there was this. You felt like a buzz. You kind of had a feeling like something big was going to happen, and we weren't quite sure what it was. But it's like a real. It's a fun but also like tense kind of feeling. Were you kind of getting that going into on the Raw after Slam?
So Baltimore is not to shit on Baltimore. Baltimore, I love Baltimore. It's not as lively a crowd as the New York area, the tri-state area. It's not. It was in a very, very small arena. It wasn't in a sporting arena. It was more in a concert arena. Maybe held about 12,000 people, if that. Very small. You had your chants. You had your. What drives me crazy is you go to a Raw or a SmackDown and you start, and maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just getting older. you start chanting for things that are happening on the other show. I don't want to hear on Raw.
Right.
It's just me. Like, dude, get it together. Do you know where you are? Lines were ridiculous for merchandising. We got there a little earlier just to try to see if there was a buzz going on. You kind of felt it more once the main event matches started, before the card started, and when Samantha came out and introduced Cole and McAfee. Shout out to Cole too, by the way. Yes, that day was his birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday to him during the commercial break.
Yeah, he also we mentioned on the show this past week. He's a WWE guy for life now. He signed an extended contract, so he's
well deserved.
He's gonna be there for now. But you get that you get in the building and like that. I kind of like that more closer environment when it's like about 12,000, 13 in there. It actually brought up, about years ago when they would raise the volume of the audience. It didn't sound like it needed it that day.
It was very, how could you say? It was very comfortable. It was very, it wasn't too much. There's a word I'm looking for and I can't find it. It was you kind of felt like home. Like everybody knew what their role was in the crowd. You knew something was going to pop off. Somewhere along the lines. I don't know if you guys know. Oh, you're very smart. I'm pretty sure you noticed it. But I noticed something down as the card went along, and as the night finished, I just realized, I'm like, wait a minute. I just saw two potential teasers for heel turns. Like things were just moving along, and there was it didn't lag. It was just it was perfectly done.
Yeah, that's the sense we had gotten, especially with the opening hour being commercial free. It kind of gave that that free flowing environment, and it really transitioned well on the other side when you're out on the screen. So we kick off the show and we get Gunther. Well, we got Ludwig first announcing Gunther coming to the
Right.
screen, coming to the ring, and we get a Gunther promo, and then boom, the music hits.
Right.
Did you get a sense? Did you know he would be in the building?
Well, the first thing I said to myself, to answer your question, is what the fuck is he doing here? That was the first question I said. Why?
Oh, that's right, Mister. I don't like SmackDown chants on motherfucking Raw. Now we got a SmackDown Superstar on Raw.
I don't mind the crossover, but yeah, but when I don't mind the crossover at all. When you're chanting for something that has completely nothing to do with whatever's going on, dude, keep that to yourself. Anyway,
Right.
no, when his music hit, my first reaction was why? Like, it was awesome. We all serenaded him, which was pretty cool.
Mhm.
With his music, but I just wanted to know more why he was there. And then, I mean, even Gunther said it took him off guard. And then when Randy started talking about how he didn't cleanly win King of the Ring, it made sense. Okay. But my initial feeling was, as the promo went on, it was a decent promo. I just couldn't help but think, okay, this is a squash match. Like, Gunther's not losing this title anytime soon. Anytime soon. So you got to give him a worthy opponent. Okay, fine, but Randy right off the bat? Okay. Like, I see the connection, but the promo was great, but it kind of lost me because I knew what was going to happen. Like, Randy's not going to win this title. He's just not.
I think it's more filler until they get the big run going for Gunther. I think that's what the big thing is like, this is just, since he's going to be doing Bash at Berlin, Gunther's hometown, he's walking in with the belt, and we know that crowd over there is very hot and will really enjoy a rematch between Orton and Gunther. I think that's just a kickoff. It's almost like just a big live event, but in Berlin. That's all it pretty much is. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I have to say also, and I was talking to I just met a fellow wrestling fan at one of the trainings that I was instructing today, and we were talking about, just the growth of Randy, and we saw him from when he was that punk kid that came off and just was
rubbed everybody the wrong way.
No charisma at the moment. He was just dry as shit. Then all of a sudden we see him now, and he's just this monster of a fucking legend, and how he's just grown to be not only just so smart with the business, but able to play off with the crowd. I was very impressed by his growth in the past 20 plus years.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at, from what, like you said, from what he was as a punk kid, and then coming out giving his injury updates week by week by week. You remember that?
Yeah, with his arm in the brace and shit.
Yeah, his arm in the brace, and now all of a sudden, look at him. He looks about 285 pounds, solid muscle, gets the business. But we're also waiting for his heel turn. Like, what are we doing with Randy? Like, so. But yeah, he definitely knows how to get the people involved. Monday was definitely no short of it. He was phenomenal. His promo was phenomenal.
Yeah. So immediately after that, we get Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser, which I mean, on TV, the shots sound loud, right? I mean, and you see the size difference, but I got to give it to Ludwig Kaiser. He holds his own in there.
He was slapping the shit out of Sheamus. It was almost like there was a microphone on the post built in somehow, because it echoed the entire arena. And we're listening to these shots, and Sheamus is just he's just taking them. And I keep saying, this albino just turned red to the point where, oh my God, there had to be microphones on every shot was real. If there wasn't a microphone, it was wow.
Yeah, I have to say that I've been a big a big cheerleader for the fact that they have to put more microphones in play for the ring, because even taking the slam and such, we want to get that sense and feel that it hurts to take those stuff. So I'm hoping that they're implementing more microphones around the ringside area.
It's
But
fine. It's fine. Only make it believable though. Like
right.
Bianca's hair whip. Come on.
Oh, I
I mean,
mean,
I used to get a pela when I was little, and the belt didn't sound like that. Like, come
you
on.
get you get the whoop. Like, no, so for the end of this match, Sheamus gets the win here. Pete Dunne tries to attack Sheamus. Sheamus was able to knock him out. And this was Ludwig's return match. I love the fact during this match as well that Ludwig sold the rib injury as though he was that like he needed the ref to throw up the X, and then of course his heelish ways came out. But I'm interested to see how this is going to be rolling off and such.
Right.
Match Park Day says tsunami. We're getting to it. We're getting to it.
That's Hold on. I can't wait to get to that part. But go ahead.
So we get the Damian Priest promo. He storms into the ring. He gets it to the ring. He's angry. You can tell that there's some unfinished business that needs to be handled. We have to find out what was it that occurred, why Finn, why all the blah blah. I'm so I'm getting already the super face turn. I understand it, but I sometimes it gets a little too sweet for me, especially when we do the whole I needed a family before, and the Judgment Day was the one that was there for me, but now you're my family. I was like, okay, get it. I got it. We're good with that.
Seth did it, and then he went heel. Probably best thing he ever did. Yeah, Damian. Let me tell you, he's growing on people. He's growing on people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they kind of did it in a way I would have liked to see it done. Keep him no nonsense, but let him appease to the crowd a little bit, but not like that.
Yeah, I think the 24/7 documentary was the one that's why I said it wasn't, you didn't need it. He was already over with just that documentary alone. And it was clean cut, straight to face side. You don't have to appease anybody. Just let's talk business right now, because Finn cuts a video. We get the video footage of why Finn, why he shows the picture of what happened and explains that during the car ride home, Damian is telling him to man up and such like that. So there's that backstory there. Then the camera pulls back and the Judgment Day is all aligned together, and we have Liv and Dom looking all romantico. How was the reaction from the audience there that night?
So for when Damian came out, this motherfucker, he stormed into the ring. I love his new theme music, so I wanted it to play out a little bit, and it didn't. It really didn't. So they cut it short. He wanted to beat his ass. The whole thing with the people. Finn comes up, and when Finn's face pops up, obviously you guys heard the boos. It was very, very loud. But what? See, I haven't seen the replay yet, and when later on tonight, I'm gonna actually watch the replay of Raw. Is Carlito now a full member of the Judgment Day?
It looks like that. It doesn't look like he's a prospect anymore. It looks like he's a full member now.
Yeah, no leaders, no egos, and it's the 5 of them. It was a crowd shock when they panned out and showed all 5 of them together. And I kind of understand why. Because if you remember at SummerSlam, Damian wanted to fuck everybody up in the Judgment Day in the back, in the locker room, trying to find out what happened to Dom. And everybody was like, I'll look for him. Meanwhile, they weren't looking for him. Like, so everybody's shocked of the camera panning out and showing all 5 of them there.
Right.
Got a rise. So even for me, I was like, whoa, like, okay. Like, that was pretty cool the way they did it.
Yeah, Match Park Day says he was over with the Baltimore crowd. And I got it where, like I said, the we knew it was coming. We saw the cracks in the armor. We saw that they were gonna, they were already laying on the groundwork. But just to gain a sense that, there was also talk that JD McDonough was gonna walk away and such, and then to see them all there in unison, standing strong, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be something.
I think they just got weaker. If you ask me, I think that they do win a title. I do believe that Finn somehow, some way, I don't know how. It would have been better if Finn would have taken that title away from Damian as opposed to Gunther, or maybe Gunther having another challenger for that title. Because the SummerSlam main event of having those two, it just, to me, it didn't make much sense. But I guess, the whole purpose of SummerSlam was just to, and Cole said it perfectly, the implosion of Judgment Day as we knew it. So that's basically what the Raw side of SummerSlam was.
Yeah.
But the reaction was killer. And it was frustrating because you see Damian in the ring, you see him popping all that shit, you see him trying to get Finn out, and it's not coming now. It'll come either later on or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're all just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and sure enough, it happens. But yeah, I mean, it was a good build-up. Just he was a little too much with La Familia and all that stuff and the crowd and playing to the crowd. You didn't have to do that.
I thought, like I said, I thought the best part of that was that feeling like shit. It's not gonna happen tonight until we get Big Bronson Reed, who approaches Adam Pearce and asks for the opportunity with Sheamus. Pearce denied him, and Reed said he'll take care of everything himself. Okay, we find out. Lyra Valkyrie versus Shayna Baszler. This is when we see the whole the new crew, the new faction. Are you a fan of the factions?
Did you say Valkyrie?
Valkyria, excuse me. Whatever.
Am I a fan of the faction? So
Valkyria, Valkyrie, same shit, different smell. Who gives a shit?
We got the life of the party in Valkyria. You got the Damage Control. You got this new group that I call Scissors.
Everybody's coming up making up names for them.
I do something with them.
Right.
Do something with them. Damage Control was going good until Asuka got hurt. I was expecting an Asuka return, which didn't happen. But I'm indifferent. I'm gonna do something with them.
I'm trying to. I guess I'm trying to piece together. Did we just see a Damage Control face turn, or this is what we were looking at?
Right. A couple of weeks ago, you have Io Sky going crazy in the back, ready to fuck everybody up.
Right.
Talking about Damage Control's got to change, and all of a sudden you come back, you're getting fucked up by Scissors, and what are you doing? Like, what are they doing with them? It's confusing.
Yeah, that's the only part that probably was like a lull in that night. But other than that, it still progressively rolled on because then we got a CM Punk appearance. CM Punk comes into the ring, cuts a promo describing how happy he is, and showing, giving elation to what occurred.
Just a matter of time.
Exactly right.
Just a matter of time.
Having been in Baltimore for so many years and coming back, and the theme music hits. Seth Rollins coming towards the ring. By the way, nod to the hat of him paying a little homage to Hangman Page. Kind of very tongue in cheek there. And then when we just think it's about to get fired up and we're gonna see an explosion occur here, we then get Drew McIntyre, and he talks shit from the higher ups. Punk forgets about Rollins, heads up the staircase to go after Drew, and then boom, we get Bronson Reed with wow. How did this go over with the crowd out there?
Wow is right. Well, go back a little bit. to the stare down between Punk and Rollins in the ring,
Right.
and like Drew was just trying to bait him. Now, from our view, I couldn't see Drew. He was behind the scoreboard. I just couldn't see him. When he said that he had his family with him the whole time, and Punk decided to leave. If you look to the left, and everybody's looking at Punk, nobody's looking in the direction of Reed. When he comes in and just attacks him, we're like, okay, we knew. I had the feeling, and I told the young kid sitting next to me that he's going to do something tonight. If he says he's going to do something like that, it's the SummerSlam. You got to do something big.
Right.
We didn't expect that. We didn't expect that. Every single time this boy got on the top rope, my inner Wade Barrett and Michael Cole came out. Tsunami! Each time. And every single time he went up, the crowd just got, holy shit, like more and more and more. That was absolutely amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, he left an impression that night. I'm telling you, Matt's Park Days says Tsunami's a new super kick. I can't stop laughing. Honestly, like this left a I think this is probably one of the biggest views of that night on the socials, besides Roman coming back the night before. Like, this was ridiculous. On how many was it? 7?
It was 6. He hit 6. And dude, that Tsunami is no Uso splash. That's a big boy coming off like the way he jumps off with one leg and glides down. Oh, it's for that particular individual, it's the perfect move. I mean,
yeah,
perfect move. He hit 6.
Yeah,
he almost got a 7th one.
People
they
were like,
decided to roll him out of the way. Now they want to roll Seth Rollins out of the way in time. So 6.5.
Yeah, people were like, can we like get him out of the fucking building? Like, what are we doing?
I had and go back to your statement about historian. I had a flashback of when Macho Man hit the Ultimate Warrior with 5 elbows in WrestleMania 7 in the career-ending match. It was just over and over. He wouldn't stop. Like, it just kept going. I had that flashback. I mean, this was absolutely amazing to watch.
I loved it because it was just like so random. And like you said, he's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Another senton. Yep.
When I saw him going up, I said, okay, that's fine. Oh
my God. Got him a little.
He gets up there quick. He gets up there fast.
I love Cole. I don't care what anybody says. I love Cole. Now, at this point, he's only giving him 2, right?
I mean, right.
I remember making a statement during this scene right here to the kid next to me saying, oh, look, it's Kurt Angle's son.
He was going to be headhunting. And Reed is apparently not through yet, rushing back.
I agree.
Marching around the ring.
I agree.
He's the future of the WWE and the future for Seth freaking Rollins.
I love
everybody just cleared out.
And I love the fact that he doesn't use both feet to push off. He doesn't need it.
Right.
And everybody around me is screaming, Tsunami! And it's... Cole is calling for the police.
McAfee says we need a tranquilizer.
Now, at this point, it's 5. Okay, yep. And there's number 6. It Exactly. It was insanity. Cole got it right on. He hit it right on the head.
Get him out of there! Get him out of the damn ring!
Call the National Guard.
Not again! Come on now!
Oh. Now I want to know when he had that blood capsule.
Hey, Seth freaking Rollins tight. Where the hell's Pierce? Where the hell are the cops? Get somebody out here. That big bald stooge wouldn't know how to stop this.
That big bald stooge wouldn't know how to stop this.
Seth can't even breathe. What a dangerous situation this is.
That was, I mean, if you want to talk about shocking moments that happened on Raw, this has to be like up there.
That was That was up there. That was up there. It was unexpected. 1, 2, fine. And then when he started to walk away, the remaining 4, the crowd was into it. The crowd was definitely into it.
So this part, I got pissed because I had to work that night, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna miss the rest of this fucking show. I said, you know what, fuck this. I'm gonna find this motherfucker when I get home. I'm gonna watch this shit at work when I get home. We then get the New Day versus the Authors of Pain. And for this moment, I'm thinking, it's another throwaway match. You know, this is just a filler match for them until we get a returning or debuting Odyssey Jones.
Odyssey Jones.
How did the crowd react to that? Because did anybody know who the fuck he was?
It seemed like nobody knew who he was. And I was confused because when I first saw him, I wasn't thinking Odyssey Jones because obviously he was drafted by Raw in the late rounds, but I wasn't expecting. I thought that was like a younger Mark Henry running into the ring.
Especially knowing that his son just got recently signed to WWE. Mark Henry's son. So
I'm thinking it has something to do along those lines. And then when he gets in the ring, and then I happen to look at his face on the big screen, I said, "Oh shit, that's Odyssey Jones."
Right.
And he's a big boy. He's a big boy. But what I think is that I don't know how you felt. Did he put the Authors of Pain? Did he bury them? With his move?
You know what? I don't think so. But it shows that how massive this guy is.
Yeah.
You know, that was I think that's what the real sell was. They wanted to show how massive he is. And boy, did he do his did he do his ditty with that? Yeah, I got the chance for that.
Ended up with
that was
he got raised up, and then when he got A come up, I was like, holy shit, and held it. Pretty impressive. Very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah. I mean,
then Akam. Oh my god, he held him.
That was the thing, that he held him up.
Right. He just he didn't shake or nothing. He just held him.
Oh.
Now my initial instinct is once this was over, Kofi goes into the ring, hugs him.
Right. Oh, sorry.
Saying to myself, he's Big E's replacement. That's what I'm thinking to myself. That's what the people around me are thinking to themselves. This is Big E's replacement. This is they need a third member. They need to bring New Day back until we come back from commercial break. But let me not get ahead of you.
Yeah, because apparently there was like some discrepancies with that as well. So
just a little. X did not look too happy.
Yeah, so apparently we see Odyssey celebrate with Kofi, and Woods and said, but he wasn't seem so well. Just let's do a brief synopsis of what happened afterwards. So what happens after said save by Odyssey? What did the what was your take for Xavier Woods, his feeling, his sentiment of what happened
after the backstage talk?
Yeah, what was give it after what was the backstage talk?
So the backstage, well, we also the Kofi was introducing X to Xavier Woods. How do you know him? Whatever the case is, and it looked like X was just like, okay, like not too happy, and the crowd felt it.
Right.
The crowd, so you heard the oohs and the ahs, like okay, what's his name? Karrion Kross is kind of getting to him, and you kind of seen that a couple of weeks ago. And a lot of people don't talk about this now because Kofi ended up getting hurt. But a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago, Kofi and X are in the back doing a promo, getting at Karrion Kross. Xavier's talking. All of a sudden, Kofi grabs him, throws him behind him, interrupts him, says, "I'll take you on next week." And X is just looking at him, like he's just staring a hole through him, as if. And then he's like, "Okay, yeah, you go get him, you go get him." And I think that's what put him on the shelf.
Right.
Later on that evening, so you could see this coming. It's just bad.
Is it the breakup of New Day, or is there just a turn?
I don't think there's a turn. I think it's a breakup of New Day. I think that they've run their course long enough. But if you're gonna do this right. I don't see X going to the Final Testament. That's like Stevie Richards going to Right to Censor. It just doesn't mesh.
Right.
Like Val Venus going to Right to Censor.
That's a good pull. That's a good pull. Yeah, that's a good pull right there.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense unless they make it make sense.
So then we had JD McDonough said he thoroughly enjoyed Damian Priest being kicked out of Judgment Day. Because Priest never wanted him in the group, and he never appreciated how he sacrificed for them. JD then challenged Damian to a match with him later tonight, which was already announced because Finn had already said it earlier. We then get A-Town down going against Awesome Truth. I was hoping that that this pairing will get split up, but I'm not over with them yet. I think they're still a good tag team. I like the pairing of Theory and Waller still.
Well, good tag team. I just think that both of them still have great things to come. Austin is very, very, very young though. Even before Waller, he was good. Now it's just like he's getting pinned at will. When he was holding that United States Championship, he was hard to beat. He was like, in a video game, like level, he would be a boss stage. Like I thought he was that good. Now you got him paired up with Grayson Waller. Yeah, the tag team championships is great. But build on this whole Waller Theory. Build a feud on him because it looks like Theory, somebody's in his ear. He doesn't know what to do. Now you're making him look stupid, and the crowd sees it.
And remember, he was the chosen one, just like Drew McIntyre. He's the next cometh of John Cena, whoever hell you want to put in that bit. But he's still young. He's got a look. He's got to work, and
got the charisma.
And some may not be ready for him to be a face type, but you got to do it somehow. Some way you got to pull that.
Right.
You got to pull that trigger.
Best way to do it will probably be at a PLE, not at a Raw or SmackDown, to get everybody's attention to kind of get himself away from Waller.
You then get Priest. You get Priest sending a message to JD saying he's gonna whip his big ass head to hell tonight. That dude got a big ass fucking head. Your thoughts on Braun Breaker though?
Love it. Braun, I wish I would have seen him in the ring. A lot of things where we missed that we didn't get a chance to see in the ring, which was unfortunate. But Braun saying that he's the hunter, and you know how much I love that title. I love that title. He's the perfect man to hold that title.
Did you think they gave it to him too soon?
Really is. No, No, I thought that him not being involved in King of the Ring, him coming in as a babyface, saying that he wasn't happy about being King of the Ring. Then he had a conversation with Pierce. Obviously, he didn't like what Pierce had to say. He brought this on himself. He started attacking everybody. Ilya got it. Ricochet got it. Uh, everybody else is getting it.
Right.
I think that him losing to Sammy the first time was a good thing. And, him saying that he took him for granted because he's a comic. He didn't think he was going to be all this, that, and the other. And Sammy got over on him. Sammy didn't look good at SummerSlam.
Mm.
He didn't. And Braun, he did what he had to do. And he said he was going to regain focus. It just basically tells me, okay, he can be a really, really good champion. So his promo in the back, it sent chills. It sent chills. I loved it.
So next up, we get Damian Priest versus JD McDonough. Damian wins by disqualification after the attack that occurred, and I just got to get an understanding of how this got over with the crowd.
So the first person we saw come out, obviously Carlito was down with him, was Finn. And then we happened to look to the right, and like cockroaches, Liv and Dom came out from under the ring. So don't know how long they were under there. If they have a secret passage from under the ring to the back, which wouldn't surprise me if they did. That's amazing.
How he's grown for us to despise him even more.
I said something that bugged me out. How do you go from being a heel to now being a super heel? Like Dom is say what you want about Dom. He is awesome right now. And
by the way, did you see the spot? Did you see the spot when she freaking pops her shoulder back into place in SummerSlam?
Yes. Oh my God.
How hot was that?
That was, my God. The first time, the second time. The first time was gnarly. And for the angle we was on, we saw Dom just waiting in the wings. And he knew what Rhea was doing, obviously. And he just grabbed her at the right time. Where Dom was standing, he knew what was going to happen.
Right.
What's funny about this match is that we knew listen, JD put up a good match.
Oh,
but
yeah,
we said out loud and jokingly, JD's gonna get fucked up. He's like the punching boy for Judgment Day. He's gonna get fucked up. The hug at the end, well, it's coming. That was awesome.
He took that motherfucking bump though.
he was up in the air.
I'm wondering, like, because we got to see a War Games match, right? Got to happen between the Judgment Day and or if not, something down the line, a Survivor Series match, something.
I would say more of a Survivor Series match. I don't think they're ready for that upper echelon of the War Games yet. Because who would you have to side with Damian?
Right. That's the whole big question. That's my thing. Like who would be there for that? Who would pair up?
Right now, it's crazy as wrestling goes on. The WWE Championship and the Universal Championship are not even the main stories right now.
Mm.
And I think it's wonderful at the moment. At the moment, everybody is so, bloodline crazy that storyline alone, and I'm pretty sure they're going to make more magic I'm pretty sure that you don't need to put a title on that storyline to get it going. Everybody's into it.
Right.
It just so happens that Cody is a WWE championship. I just happen to think that he's going to lose that title to somebody that has no affiliates with the Bloodline. The Bloodline's going to take care of Bloodline business until Bloodline business is done.
Yeah.
That's
So
just
we
how I
get
see it.
Sonya Deville again. They come out. They attacked Damage Control backstage, and then we get an EO versus Sonya Deville match. EO gets the win there. Sami Zayn tells Jey Uso that he'll have an Intercontinental title rematch against Braun on next week's Raw. Jey says that Sami would win, and afterwards they can challenge the Judgment Day and become the new World Tag Team Champions. So this is what I'm saying. Like, it looks like that's going to be the next, I guess, pairing to wrestle aside Damian and Rhea for now. It'll be Jey and Sami. And finally, to close the show, we get the Wyatt Six versus Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. I believe they're going by American Made right now. I think that's what that's going to be called. How did the presentation look for the Wyatt Six?
Fireflies are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Lights go out. You take the pictures. You shine the light. I love the fact that they kept Shatter as the theme song.
Mm-hmm.
Because all we've heard was the piano key. That's all we've heard throughout every time he was come out. The fact that they kept that, to me, was chilling.
Mm-hmm.
When they came out, it was like it was just an awe-inspiring scene. Like, people were cheering, but there were more like, a lot of "Thank you, Bray." I heard a lot of Uncle Howdy. I heard a lot, just a lot of all this. It was just a beautiful sight to see. Yeah, that intro for their first match, you just never forget it. It was awesome.
How did the crowd take it as in a whole? Because this is the first time that we're gonna have them in a match. I thought it was a great smart move to have them with the Creeds and Gable, but also for your thoughts on how the crowd took the match itself in.
So the match itself it showed that Gacy and Loomis were human. They could you would think that this is a superhuman group that can take some pain, and they're just they're wrestling. They're getting over with the crowd. They're getting their licks in. They're getting hit, and they're getting affected by it. So it was weird to see that, because you kind of expected something more supernatural. But all in all, I mean, the match was pretty good. These two Creed brothers are, they will be tag team champions.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They will be tag. And that boy Julius Creed, whew,
yeah, he's something special.
He's
that's
good.
Yeah, that's the one that everybody is like ready to put the rocket ship behind him. I just thought this was like a tandem that needed to happen. This pairing, this faction needed to happen. Reminiscence of the world's greatest tag team. I still want to get that jacket. I love those fucking jackets that they have. The big hoodies. If I can find them shits or get them shits made, I'm definitely gonna get that shit done. But also, back in with the American Alpha and such, I'm a big fan of the technical style, and plus them being heel makes it all worth the while. But other than that, man, that Raw was. I mean, if you had to, when was the last time you saw a Raw? I mean, live that had that same kind of impact.
Last Raw that I can remember that had that same kind of, as far as emotion, or as far as like a wow factor.
Just everything, just the wow, the moment, the wow factor.
So the last Raw that I went to a long time ago, man, it sticks out to me. I remember I went with two buddies, one no longer with us. Rest in peace, Big Mike.
Big Mike.
And it was the moment that I believe it was Daniel Bryan and AJ Lee's wedding in the ring. and she ended up accepting McMahon's offer to become general manager.
Okay.
That was in Brooklyn, if
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
remember
mistaken.
that. Right.
So it kind of got the same similar pop. But I have a question. I started thinking about this afterwards. There were a lot of tears after the match was over
Hmm.
because I'm assuming when Raw went off the air, um, I wouldn't say the Wyatt Six broke character, but they, especially Taylor, he was overrun with emotion, and
Hmm.
and Rowan as well. The two closest people to Bray. And I asked myself, okay, you spent weeks upon weeks upon weeks talking about how McAfee's a liar, talking about how you kidnapped this Wendy, whatever the hell her name is. Um, uh, what was it? Wendy Lucho? Is that her
Hmm.
name? Talking about how you kidnapped this lady and then all of a sudden she resurfaces. You're doing all this crazy, creepy ass shit. You got Gacy coming from NXT, who's a fucking nut job, and Loomis isn't that far off either. Now my question is, you got this match out the way. The emotions, I'm not shitting on Bray. I'm glad they got to do it, but what's gonna happen now?
Well, that's the whole thing because I always felt that. But remember, they're not. I don't believe that they're actually signed to any show. They
They're
could
not.
bounce off to any show. So
They're
this
not.
this could carry over to SmackDown as well. Um, I like that feeling that they're the novelty. I like it. I like the fact that this is actually what I wanted Sanity to be like. I wanted to get that feeling, or
Right.
even when Retribution was out there, get that
Mm-hmm.
that kind of sense. They'll just stir up anarchy and just go out there and just halt storylines for a second just
Right.
because they can and give reasoning for it. Uh you could always play off of anything. Gacy could go back to NXT and like you forgot about me and play that role and then have matches over there. Um, Nikki Cross could definitely have relationship um solving matches with the female wrestlers that she had falling out with, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It could always bounce from here to there. The McAfee thing, I think that was just only for commercial reasons. That's the only thing it was really for. I
Okay.
don't think that was really meant to tie anything, but I'm okay with the fact they'll go away for a couple of weeks and come back and stir some next shit up. I'm cool with that.
Right.
And I like the
Okay.
fact you mentioned that they're not the supernatural beings, that they are gonna be vulnerable, but
Mm-hmm.
they have a unity and they just want to go in there and tear shit up. And I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. Yeah, that's way. It's definitely a way to look at it.
But
Um,
yeah, and I know you said you was always such a big fan of Bray and such like that. I
loved
know
him.
it was an emotional moment for you as well to see that they put this together and such. And I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
that Bo is able to have the ability to continue the legacy, even if it's not what Bray had in store or in mind, but it's
Right.
something that it still carries on through. And plus, I still believe that there's still a couple of people missing for that faction, and we'll see down the line what happens there.
Right. You got Alexa Bliss, and there's another name rumbling around. I don't know how true this is, but if you go back to last week's Raw, did you see Damage Control's promo at
No,
the end
no.
when they came back to wreak havoc on Scissors? I keep
Mm,
calling him Scissors. They're in the back. Kyrie's talking. Well, I'm sorry, not Kyrie. Well, yeah, Kyrie was talking. Then Io started talking. Dakota is smiling and laughing, whatever the case is. And when the camera went to her and she started talking, there was a little symbol right behind her head, the Wyatt Six symbol.
mm,
So was that a coincidence? Are they looking at Dakota? They are looking at people that don't that mess with people's families.
right.
And Dakota is, she's, maybe to get, Abby, Nikki, whatever the hell you want to call
Fair.
her, and possibly a returning Alexa Bliss.
Well, yeah, that's it. And this is what I'm saying now with what's happening with not only that story, um, those branching arcs. They've been doing one hell of a job to keep you watching for the little stuff like that, those nuances that will be callbacks so that later on, so that you could be that Leonardo DiCaprio meme from Wolf of Wall Street. And the whistle check. So do you want to catch that? But we'll see. I've been very much pleased on how they've been tying together branching arcs and bringing in new storylines from older walks of life that we just need a nice shine and nice. Hell, that whole
Nice reboot.
Dom and Rhea stuff is fucking that's Eddie in fucking China years ago.
Absolutely. You got
Right.
American Made. That's like you said earlier. That's Kurt Angle and the world's greatest tag team.
Exactly. So we have a lot to come up with when it comes to WWE, and I'm very happy that they made such a large turnaround, and it was good to see that you were able to get on that Amtrak and make it out there. Now your ass is sitting at home with allergy issues.
Yeah, and it's funny. I've been home since about 10 o'clock.
Mm.
Fell asleep, got up, got ready for this interview, and I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna pray that I don't get blown up again and get back to
That's
work
right.
tomorrow.
Take some Benadryl, you'll be all right. But brother, thanks for checking in as always, man. And don't make it too long of a wait. You can chime in on the chats when you're free and you're at home.
Well, I have a different schedule now. I did come on the show once when I was in uniform.
Yes, you did.
So
You did.
I did. So I get the alerts when you guys go live. Most times I'm on the train. And now that I'm back home on my 7 line, it's a little easier to possibly get around and get.
Oh, I know how much you love being on the 7 line, especially doing Met series and stuff like that. Fantastic.
God. It's an awesome feeling. Shout out to all the Met fans. I don't hate you, but you guys are annoying. But yeah, it's a different animal as opposed to being on the ground all the time. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, next time we'll get you on so you could describe to me how you take a shit, because that's always been my issue when it comes to you train operators. But thanks again, my brother, for taking that time, and much love for checking in and showing us an insight of how it was when you was at one of the biggest Raws of the year.
Not a problem, bro. Love you as always.
Love you back, and love you even more. So guys, don't go anywhere. Stick around. Much to talk about. And as always, I gotta play the video because our friend Mark never knows when the episode is done. So check you guys in a second.
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Sit turn types.